Okay, moving on to Sage. Now, Sage is a 5th class. Now, why would we put Sage in there? Well, Sage is adventure and tech. If you remember, adventure is like your Link type guy, and a tech guy is kind of like robot sort of stuff. But what you're really getting at is you want to teach kids, you want to teach people, whatever, how to program, how to run computers, how to run circuitry machines, what a squirrel cage is, how to read schematics, what a dynamo is. That's you play at least 10 hours of this game, 10 levels, you'll learn some stuff. Same with adventure. You can learn some real world skills, maybe how to make a fire. Anyway, so we're going to go for whatever the holy book of the game says is first, and that was adventure, leaving tech for the last. Okay, at least I've got them listed out. When I tried to do rogue and ranger, I didn't have them all written out in order, and solved that problem. And I tried to research what's next ahead of time every time. Hopefully, I don't waste any time. All right, Burning Fields, Prometheus, Fire 1. Pardon me. Here we go. Got it. Okay, so this is when, this is one of the first and oldest and most ancient things you do, which is you set fires and you build walls and you set them on inclines and stuff, and you herd animals to traps. And so this is your and also this is, I guess, where you get fire from. Torch, lantern, these are new items. Free Prometheus, learn to get food by sorting traps. Yep. Realish Pass, Prometheus and Bob. Prometheus and Bob, just look it up, it's hilarious. That's what this is. This is a smart person trying to teach an idiot how to do basic things, and it fails constantly. You're the failure until you get like 10 tasks right, and then you're out. I guess Bob is your boss, but he's your ultimate bad guy, but he's not your bad guy. He's a helper. Bob in this case seems to be literal Prometheus, and then what's normal in the Prometheus and Bob sketch, Prometheus is normally, Prometheus is a smart guy. Okay. Bob is the idiot. Like me. I got it right now. Okay, so Prometheus would normally take the place of the boss guy of the level, but instead he's your helper. And he's trying to teach you stuff. That's how that works. Much like Mentor the Centaur. Okay. Number 2 is Ice 3. And I'm going to put down the wand, and I'm going to pick up an adventure tool. Okay, yeah, here we go. This is a cane. Cane helps you walk around. I'll gesture with that. That works better. Igloo, Shapes and Puzzles, Ice 3. That seems more of a tech thing. No? Adventure? Okay. I guess it's just the Shapes and Puzzles level. That's pretty easy. Almost like level 1, but I guess Prometheus and Bob was just too easy. Alright, here it is. Shapes. Sliding blocks. Well, it's a chance to get an Inuit culture, so that's good. Yeti, Tibet, Lapland, Toboggan, the Golden Compass. Ooh, the Golden Compass. Now that's a good place for magic, but this is adventure. I guess the Golden Compass means things like sled racing and yeah. Call of the Wild. Okay. Greenland, Alaska, Russia, Shapes. Puzzles by slide, toboggans and slides. Alright. Bobsledding. Alright. we got a level at that point. Level 3. I love this. This is great. Okay, so this is Xanadu to Nazca. This is the Xanadu people of China, Zhengdu. They have very specific art, and they're uncovering more and more art all the time. They have like one of the world's greatest museums, and they set up their art in a way where it lets it speak for itself. You know, you just come upon an artifact, and you're just like, you know, what is this? And instead of like crowding things in, they spread everything out and let you take your time and get wowed by things. So the idea is they disappeared, and instead of being killed by the emperor, they lived on mountaintops. They had kites. They took their kite idea, applied it to making hot air balloons, took off in hot air balloons, traveled all the way across all the way north around the Bering Strait, all the way back down through Mexico, down to Nazca, Peru, and they were the ones that drew the lines around Peru and left behind art that is the same art that they left behind in China. Okay, this is a theory that I had, and not totally sure about it, but it sure does combine two cultures and create a really interesting air level, and teaches you how to do hot air ballooning, and I guess how to make fire in a hot air balloon, and transport a bunch of people by a canoe boat that you gotta make that's gonna go in the sky. Okay. And identify things that from air to the ground, and you know, it's kind of fun. You know, take a left at the monkey. Navigate by the sun, and the instead of by the stars, maybe some by the stars. Okay. Anyway, moving on. That seems like a fun level. Combining South American culture with Chinese culture, neat. Level 4, Fire 4. Should be, no, that's Decisive Battles. Is it right here? Burning Fields. Where's my Fire 4? I gotta look for those ADVs. Sorry if I'm slow on this one. It's getting late, and it's been a long recording. It's my third attempt at getting it finished. No, Fire 4. Yep, here it is. Somehow I got distracted by ice. As I said, I'm tired. The Sword, the Stone, the Dragon, and Save the Princess, Hunt for the Grail, Anglo-Saxon culture. Okay. Dragon Slayer, Blacksmith, Sword and Stone, St. George, Rain of Fire. I'm sure we can get more dragon. Everybody who's had a dragon gets a spot here. All forms of armor, pikemen, toy soldiers. Each knight has a tale. Okay, I think a lot of NPC stories is what I was getting at there. Sword, Stone, Excalibur, Fight the Dragon. We gotcha. St. George, Fafnir the Dragon, Sigurd and Fafnir. Okay. Every dragon fight ever. That was 4, right? Okay, so 5 is Divergent City, which is right here. Raccoon City, I Am Legend, Walking Dead traps, 12 Monkeys, Decayed New York, Deer, Vines, Parkour level. Hang Gardens of Babylon. Now this would be a thief level, but we got a hook shot. It says Future No Omnius. That's interesting. Omnius is a later level. So this is in the future, but not Omnius taking over, life taking over. That's interesting. Hookshot biology, and it literally says biology on there. So it's not tech. It's not metal. It's parkour, which is jumping over things, and then hookshot is a grappling hook that you shoot, and then it drags you, and rope slides and zip lines. So that's that adventure level. All right. In my holy text here, I did not write down 6, unfortunately, but I'll figure it out real quick. ADV 3, ADV 8, 4, 10, 5. Okay, this seems to be it. Yeah, this is retro. So this is Vikings, Rivers, Icebergs, Sport, Battles, Fjords, The 13th Warrior, Beowulf again, Titanic, Greenland. Okay, so this is Navy at ice, and it's a bit of a games level. And so what the deal is that Vikings used to have a game. We have it now. It's the Foxtail. Foxtail has little bits that are broken up, and so it's got like a baseball at the front, and then it's got a nylon string at the back, and every so often the nylon tail gets thinner and the color changes. And you get the most points if you grab it almost immediately. When it comes towards you, you get the least points when you grab it by the back. Now, Vikings used to do this with spear throwing, and a bunch of people would come across a Viking ship, and Greeks would throw a bunch of spears at them, and the Vikings would laugh and grab their spears out of the air and turn them around and throw them back at them. That's what it's one of the games on this level. That's the main game. All right, moving on. Number 7, water, Sequest, underwater, right here. Says Titanic, Sage, Underwater Ruins, The Trench, Boats, Sea Lab 2020, Key West, Hunt for the Red October, The Abyss, You Are the Captain, Pressure. Okay, so Sea Lab 20. I like the Sea Lab 2020 bit. That makes it kind of funny. The ship's going down. Everybody's an idiot. The NPCs are idiots. The dialogue's full of terrible morons, and you've got to take things over and explore the seafloor, kind of like the movie The Abyss. There's weird stuff down there. Maybe the movie Sphere is more in people's wheelhouse, and there's big squid that attack. Underwater adventure is what we're up to. Yeah, Subnautica. All right, moving on. Level 8, Earth 8. Level 8, Earth 8. Went right to it for once. Megalith, Stonehenge, the tombs, Machu Picchu. Okay, so big pieces of granite. Göbekli Tepe. It's probably not even written on here. The Labyrinth, the Minotaur. So this is the Labyrinth. Light as Navigation, David Bowie. Yeah, it's the David Bowie Labyrinth. So it's weird, and you got to make it through the Minotaur's labyrinth, and the Minotaur's your main bad guy. That's even there's like a circle with two, just like a horn thing. That's the symbol for this level. That and some Stonehenges. Compass, you get your compass. Map, you get map. Okay, level 8 compass and map for I'm sure for not just this, but when you leave this level, that compass and map applies to the entire game. And then any individual level you roll into, that compass and map applies to that level as well. So you get everything, or at the very least, the ability to buy that map. But I'm pretty sure your compass and map, your compass infinite map probably works in every location. Okay, which makes you quite the boss. Level 9. Oh, where's my pointy stick? Level 9, Earth 9. So, Earth 9, now you normally think that's high or something like that, but it's kind of right across the middle of the gradation. It's above life and above water. Okay, so which puts it right here. Level the Time Machine, H.G. Wells, Changing Earth, The Morlocks, So if you've read H.G. Wells' The Time Machine, you know what this level looks like. Land of the Lost. Now tell me you can't put Land of the Lost and The Time Machine in the same level. In the same game. Father Head Morlock or the Librarian. The Father Head Morlock or the Librarian. Not quite sure what that means, but I'm pretty sure it's like a good versus evil. You can go the head of the bad guy of the Morlocks, the one that's even above the Eloi and the Morlocks. You can go side with him or side with the Librarian, I guess. Where am I lost? I lost. Oh, there it is. Land of the Lost and Ocarina of Time, retro sci-fi, no machine, Morlocks and Eloi. I liked those cities where they were living in shells on the coasts in the new movie. That was cool. That's a good look for that. Especially dinosaurs. I don't know what dinosaurs had to do with that. Journey to the center of the earth, but I scribbled that out because we use that elsewhere. Right, moving on. Alright, last level. The ability to move through time, though. Maybe the ability to fast forward and rewind time if you've got your time machine, which you would always have your time machine on call. Like, you could call it up, and then your time machine would appear. It's a mode of conveyance at that point. Alright, so, you know how that would work? That would work like the time machine in Lego. There's certain points that you walk up to, and they just, you get it, it identifies itself to you as applicable for your time machine to work. And then you call your time machine at that point, and the level has like a little door effectively that lets you go into like a separate area that's like in the past or the future that's accessible by your H.G. Wells time machine once you finish that level, which is kind of awesome. And there'll be spots like that all over the place. All right. Last level is Metal 10, which is heard and designed the Robot City. Okay. So I was speaking at one point about the difference between farmers and like the barbarians who are herdsmen and butchers and who ride on horseback and they corral sheep and stuff like that. And so rather than having war tactics that line up and everybody shoot each other to a man, they have classic war tactics that are called cowardly, because they run away from battles and they back off and they engage the fewest number of people as possible, like a sheep, like a dog that herds up a bunch of sheep. Okay, so you're doing this sorts of things with robots, and it's the Robot City, and you got to get them all to move. The game Humans now is like that. You got to get them all to move and to do a certain thing, and it's not going to be as heavy as programming or anything like that. You just got to like herd the robot animals, so to speak, to get them to behave and do certain things. And it's this massive Robot City. It looks like Futurama. I haven't even looked at the card yet. Righty. Metal 10. Water 10, metal 10, flow metal alloys, nanobots, Omnius. This Omnius from the new Dune books. Small spherical computer controls gigantic towers, sort of floats, and there was a version something like that in Final Fantasy X at the very end, and it controls a whole cityscape with a bunch of robots flowing everywhere. Omnius is the boss guy. All the robots everywhere in the city is what you got to deal with. There's episodes of Futurama like that. They dress up as robots. Anyway. Which leads me to tech. All right. 10 more to go. Now, I've mentioned this before. This is Pharaoh's Lighthouse. Tech. What do I have? Okay. I'm going to change up my prop. Go back to screwdriver. I was using a screwdriver before. I shouldn't have. Here's my screwdriver now. Pharaoh's Lighthouse of the Library of Alexandria. logistics, fuel improvement. You go from wood to animal oil, coal to electricity. It's Farmville-ish, Sim Earth, repository of all books in the library, quote unquote. Poseidon's Earthquake takes it down at the end of the level, but that's you leave, and then Poseidon's Earthquake takes it all down. So indicating to you just move on. But in that level is every book. It's like the Library of Congress. You might as well stick. It's not that hard with all this data going on here. Just put a PDF for everything in there, please. But yeah. Effectively, you're just micromanaging, like a Farmville sort of thing, and trying to get your little society to evolve in a Sid Meier sort of way, civilizations kind of a way, and as I've said before, each one of these are designed to be about an hour. You put in 1 hour easy mode, you put in 10 hours, you get 10 levels out of it. And so if you really max out, max effort here, I guess 10 hours times 100 levels, that would be 1,000 hours. Okay, so easy mode, easy, just blazing through. I would say 100 hours. Really getting it done, 1,000. That's a good game. And you also want to play it across every platform: low res, portable, high res at home. And there's like online, a way you would want to do it where it's online interactive, and like leveled players interact with each other, as well as offline, both like a standard version and a snapshot of whatever you last saw online, but then like saved. And I'll get back to that at the end. Okay. Alrighty. So Earth 2. Earth 2. Is it here? Is it right here? It is. Earth 2, Tech 2. This is where you'll, there's pyramids here, the pyramids, so you'll learn some weird pyramid math and stuff. Basic chemistry, constellations, route to Osiris, which is a Dark 5. There's a route here to Dark 5, just culturally. Explosives, ancient battery, rocket fuel. Cool ancient, you can make ancient rocket fuel out of hydrogen peroxide. Anyway, yeah, so it mixed in a big vault like the pyramids, like one of the conspiracy. Okay, so this is every weird conspiracy mathy thing you want to throw at the pyramids. That's some actual knowledge that can be gained from that environment that ancient Egypts might have had as well. That's very cool. It's level 2 on tech. So level 3 is called Circuit and Stone. It's right next to it. I'm used to Wizard at this point, jumping around. Stuff should be next to each other at this point. So circuitry in stone, colored orbs, pathways, secret walls. I don't know why I'm over here reading this, because it's Final Fantasy X. And you take this glowing orb, you put it into a wall socket, and then there's a glowing light, that like LED light, that goes to the floor. It goes down the wall to the floor, it takes a turn, it goes up into another slot, and these are the basics of how circuitry works. Now sometimes the path is broken, and you'll see a little bit of a circuit path, like gold etched into a stone that you push or move into place, and then bam, the circuit's complete, and then the device on the wall that I was pointing to, I guess it goes to a device, starts to run. And this is where I'll get a look at the wall. Meteor stone equals power. I've got it written here. Rail switches, power lines. Retro machine begins. Yeah, this is where you learn how to do basic 1800s machines. Pocket watch, working Tetris sort of blocks into shapes that complete circuits in angles that take the power to the machines we want. Okay, little mental puzzles. All right, that was level 3. Level 4, we're gonna go to the Nautilus. Oh, yep, that's where we're going. All right. Just give me a sec to find it. Right here. Water for, is that right? Yeah. Yeah, okay. So there's a lot of notes on this. It's overwhelming. 2,000 Leagues Under the Sea, the Jules Verne. Super Material Subs. Sea Lab 2020 again, like that stuff. That's funny. Mysterious Island, the Jules Verne book, where it's not just the Nautilus, but Captain Nemo turns water into power, and that runs the ship. And he basically becomes a wizard of water. And so you learn about hydrolysis, where you learn how to take electricity and put it into water, and then get out hydrogen and oxygen, which then you learn to breathe the oxygen underwater. The Voyage of the Mimi. So you learn those kind of skills there. Hunt for the Red October. I keep writing that, but it's basic. It's some basic naval chemistry and buoyancy rules, things like that. All right, metal 5. Now with the metals, each level of the metal, each level that is metal represents a type of metal. A different type. Copper was 3. This is metal 5, so that is somewhere around here in the gradation. And metal 5, World's Fair. Oh, copper. I guess copper is metal 5. I thought copper was 3. Mistake. I was thinking City of Love, but Paris. But the symbol for metal 5 is a radio tower giving off a signal, and the radio tower looks like the Eiffel Tower. My bad. All right. So anyway, the World's Fair. What is it? 1889, I believe. Victorian engines. Tesla, 1930s. Baghdad battery. Kids wiring board. Okay, so just how to do some basic wiring, and all the varieties of fun devices that are kind of basic that you can do with a basic wiring board. The kind that Radio Shack used to sell. You can set up basic audio alarms, basic laser alarms. Trying to think what else. Switches, light bulbs, turn on whirs, wearing dynamo type things. All right. And the whole setting for this is World's Fairs, and so I guess you move through World's Fairs throughout time, and definitely including the Great Glass, the Crystal Palace. All right, Chicago World's Fair. Okay, so number 6 is, Number 6 is edit that. Number 6 is Dynamos and Time. And that is metal 6. So, where's metal 6? Dynamos and Time. Number 6, metal 6. Copper. Oh, I forgot they're supposed to be connected. So, you would think that it would roll over here. And here it is. That is connected. So, I've got HG and AG, which is silver and... Yeah, that's mercury and silver, which it's quicksilver and silver. T2000, T101, T800. Okay, so you're being hunted by the Terminators at this point. That's crazy. Rare earth metals, small but powerful magnets. Planet of the Apes, but robots. Okay, so you go back to, okay, so that's kind of how Terminator works. You go back and forward in time, and there's just more and more robots. I guess Planet of the Apes, it's apes, but here you go back and forward in time, more and more robots. And kind of like that Rick and Morty episode. Cell phones, Futurama, Robot Planet, Robot Council of the Fools, Yeah, all right, simple machines, and I guess flowing mercury, using mercury as a like dynamo and to store energy, and I guess to make is this the one with the Vimianas? Because that is hilarious. I sort of love that level. The future, India, yeah, India, piloting a UFO, Mercury, flywheels, hoverboards, dynamos. It is. India Omnius Skynet. So that's the T-2000. So that's coming. They're coming from back from like level 10, but like they're going back in time to what are we at here? Level 6, and they're attacking you, and it even involves India. And Vimianas are flying technological ships in India that are reported of in the Vedas and the they don't belong in that historical period. Some interesting stuff. Missiles are described in what is it? The Rig Veda, no, Bhagavad Gita, I think at the end. Anyway, crazy stuff going on in Hindu culture. They're not afraid of the bomb. That's there should be a nuclear bomb dropped somewhere in there, all Skynet style. There we go. Okay, moving on. Number 7 is actually in Air 2, and that is Steam Boy, which is of course religion-ish. Oh yeah, that's probably connected to Dark. Nope. Yeah, we're just in Steam Boy here. Number 7, Earth 2 or Air 2. Steam Boy, hoverboard, Nimbus. Nimbus is the cloud that that Goku flies on in Dragon Ball Z. The Diamond Age, Industrial Age, hydraulics, super materials. So if you watch the movie Steam Boy, you'll know what kind of technological stuff is going on here. But it mainly involves pressures, and that's some interesting stuff to learn about. Laws of gases. Well, here it's going to be in here. Why when you take the cap off of your Coca-Cola, does it all of a sudden squirt everywhere? Well, your kid's going to know the answer to that by the end of this level. Why when you squirt your can, does all of a sudden your can get cold? That's going to be in this level. Okay. Laputa number 8 is Air 8. Air 8 can be anywhere. It's probably up here at the top. Is that Air 10? Yeah, it is. That's Valhalla, Odin, Warrior. Okay. Mage. It's not there. I'm in tech. I have to look for it saying tech in the corner. It does not say tech. Tech. Earth. Nope. I'm looking for Air 8. Come on, Air 8. Where are you at? I think that was the magic of this level, being that it's an Air 8, is it could have been thrown anywhere. Here it is. Down here at the bottom. I had to look through, what was that, 80% of the game to find it? Alright. It's like here-ish on this, there's Nautilus. We talked about that. Anyway, that was at 4. But now we're at 8. Yep. I'm pointing at something. Right next to it. I keep forgetting it's right next to it. Laputa Castle in the Sky. Levy Stones. Weights and counterweights. Hookshot. Floating chess. Rubik's Cube. Spatial mechanisms. MC Escher. Okay, so MC Escher is a artist who drew trippy things that were two-dimensional drawings that did not translate to three-dimensional, but kind of purported to be three-dimensional drawings of three-dimensional objects that they couldn't exist. So with this level, there's going to be lots of blocks floating through the air, almost by magic, whatever. Maybe little. Some of them have little fans at the bottom. Some of them have little fans at the side, and it's your job to like use a hook shot and drag it to the island that you're at, and then they'll sometimes be connected by chains to other islands, and it's a little mental game. You have to put it together. You know, you have to figure out, okay, well, that one has a motor on it. This one has the power. These ones have walkways that I can jump, you know, chains to it that I can go from one to the other. This chain is too far, and I need to upgrade my hook shot. Okay. So, Laputa Castle in the Sky in chains, and it's kind of like Circuits in Stones, but it's 3-dimensional. Whereas Circuits in Stone is like a circuit board. It's very 2-dimensional. This is very 3-dimensional, and it gets you to think about rotating shapes, like Tetris, but 3D as well. Okay, if you spend 10 hours on it. All right. So, Robot Army 9, Metal 9 down here, rare earth materials, small but powerful magnets. Didn't we also talk about? Yeah. Okay. The Matrix 3, Futurama, Sci-Fi Planet. I feel like I talked about this before. Adventure. Just checking real quick. Earth 9, Metal 10. Did I confuse Metal 9 for Metal 10 last time? I did. Okay. So edit this into Adventure 10. Adventure Metal 10 is right here. Flow Metal Alloys, Nanobots, Omnius of Dune, the Spire, Quantum Processors, the Robot City, Turing Test, Wizard of Oz, Emerald City, Twilight Princess. So it's the tech that trumps the grid. Okay, so it's a trippy place, and you have to take out the the main bad guy. I think I talked about this too. I know I talked about this. All right. Well, I don't know how I got something confused in here. I'll have to figure it out in editing. But number 10 for adventure is Omnius from Final Fantasy X. Number 9 is the Robot Army before that, which is in tech. Yeah, I said tech. Adventure 9. I know I made a mistake there. Adventure 9 goes in Time Machine. Adventure 10, design the... I messed up somewhere. Adventure 10 is Omnius. Tech 9. Robot Metal Army. Rare Earth Metals, Planet of the Apes. Okay, so you direct whole hordes of robots as if they're like the Dauntless, except you know they're going to have more functions, so I guess it's more of like a Sim Earth kind of place mentally, but you're setting all your different robots to do different things, build buildings, power, things like that, so it pays off in the long run. All right, so you're thinking in terms of agents at that point. So, all right, so you're running a bunch of agents out there, like a general, to do a bunch of Sim Earth type stuff. Okay, that's cooler than I thought. That's pretty cool. And the symbol for it is three stick figures with a square head and a little antenna coming out of the top. That's pretty funny. I dig it. All right. What metal is that? No, it's just metal 9, and it doesn't rare earth metals. All right, rare earth metals. And then tech 10 is right here. It's Bolt 10, and it's the virtual world. Like Lawnmower Man. Like a video game environment. Johnny Mnemonic when he's in virtual reality. Very 1980s cyberpunk, inside the machine. Probably cooler looking than what 2077 gave us when you were inside the machine. That was very low res, more like Neon City type stuff. What do we got here? Thiefy, economics, complicated virtual world, the Diamond Age, cyberpunk, Johnny Mnemonic, programming, the codes. I guess actual programming here. Princess Nell, stim suit. Okay, you know, like in Assassin's Creed or Lawnmower Man the movie, you wear a suit, and the suit, you know, your character wears a suit, and they feel everything that happens inside the virtual world. And if you die in the virtual world, you die in the real world. Okay, so it's kind of like some of the story points you're gonna get. And then there's gonna be a secret contact in there that helps you through it. And Princess Nell, Razor Girl, those are references from cyberpunk literature. I hate saying so much. I'm trying to think of the author's name. Neil Stevenson. Yeah. So anyway, there's going to be actual programming in that level, so you're going to have to edit some code and cheat the Coyote, the Coyote King, and Lawnmower Man or whatever, and get him to run a virus that'll destroy himself. And there's probably lots of room for some interesting environments. Okay, so I just finished all the different dudes, all the different levels. That's everybody. Now, what am I missing? Okay, so I discussed mid consciousness stream that I am missing a level for each one of the wizards, both male and female, to internal magic, external magic, whatever, to hit up one level that represents each element. That's a failure. And that's the main failure. I like everything else about it. There's areas in each level that you can stick other cultures in and should. Pardon. Edit. Also edit. Also edit. All right, so we have, I'm going to go over the board for once. We have 5 different types of main dude. I'm going to put the holy book down, although, no, there's okay, so I'll incorporate all this. So there's 5 different types of main dude. Now, each one of those types of each one of those types of skills represents a different dice when it comes to chances, when it comes to any action taken. Each one of these dices represents a platonic solid. Now, I know right off the bat, just from memory, so I'll write it in, that warriors get squares, or cubes. So that's a 6-sided die. Dwarves are cube, and that reminds me that, you know, warriors are 6-sided die. So they both get a 6-sided die. Let's see. Good enough. That's not a good die, but that's slightly better. I didn't follow the rules of how to make a square there. Okay, that'll work. Now, thief, I remember, is water, and is somewhat associated with water. At least the rogue is. The platonic die is the 20-sided die. That's the dodecahedron. So I'm just going to write D20 right there. That means when you roll a die, if you get a 1, it's like a failure. If you get a 20, it's a victory, flawless victory. And you know, if you get a 10, only 50% of your hit points went through. Only 50% of the block was achieved. Somebody tried to strike you, you roll a die, you get a 10, 50% of their strike connects. Okay, should be talking over here because this is where the dice is. All right, so Cleric. Let's see. Let me find the holy text here. Okay. Tetrahedron, 4-sided die. That is for fire. That doesn't help me out with the skill class. Oh my god. Alright, so edit out all that. Let's start again. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna write bolt. I'm gonna write air, bolt. And under Kid Warrior, I'm gonna write fire and ice. All right, that'll work. And under Thief, I'm gonna write life and water. Under Sage, I'm gonna write metal on the bottom. And, oh boy, I guess Earth, but Earth is more of a warrior. And under Cleric, I'm going to write light and dark. Sage, ice, fire. That's funny. I want to transport. I want to put ice over on Sage and Earth over on Warrior, just because they're related. But I'm gonna just put a double line there, just to convince myself that these two are completely separate. Now, okay, so I'm going to go through these elements one at a time and do this very quickly. Okay. Life, 20-sided die. Life. What's the next one in here? 12-sided die for light. D12. That means dark is a D12. Water is a D20. Earth is a D6. That means metal's a D6. Fire and ice, they're a D4. Because fire in platonic solids is a tetrahedral dice. Looks like that. Earth is definitely in platonic solids as a cube. So that's a D6. And D20, D12, D6, D4, D8? Is that what I'm missing? What the heck? So let's go to air and bolt. That's weird. D8. Okay. 8-sided die and octahedral. So D8. Yeah, that's right. Octahedral. D8. Alright, which is kind of like a diamond shape. And there's a backside to it. Kind of like that. Alright, so D8s are the diamond dice. D4 are something like that. D20, it's kind of circle-like with the pentagram in the middle. All right. D6 and the D12. Okay, so these are your dice. Whenever you're in these areas and a monster comes and you have to deal with a monster, these are the dice they're working with. Often when there's a boss guy in these levels, these are the dice that the boss guy is working with. And when you take on the properties of these sorts, and even though you might be a wizard, the last level you hit up was ice. Now you're mostly an ice wizard. That's your strongest level. Should be over here. All right, so that is the different dice. Now, up here, I've written the 5 different categories, split them up into 2 of skill types. Now, I'm going to, okay, so your wizard and your witch, you both get like wand or staff. And we're all about the hats. Skull cap, I guess, something like that. Okay, yeah, these are my terrible hats. So that's what we're all about there. And also you get rings. Okay, warrior, kid, adult. We're all about the weapon here. Clubs, sword. Maybe I can do better. Okay. All right. Clubs, sword, I don't know, kicking and punching. Eventually Hadouken, I guess. Hadouken is the ultimate where you want to go with that. Which is actually possible after your Thor level when you become after level 9. Finish off that level. There's some definite Hadouken stuff at that point. All right, so thief. You know, you're mostly concerned in this level with money. Let's see, and you know, there we go. Either way you cut it. But as far as weapons go, I would say Ninja Stars. And what are they called? Ninja Stars more kind of. There we go. There's a better Ninja Star. Okay, so you're concerned with Ninja Stars. Oh boy, terrible Ninja Star. Nunchucks. And you're trying to carry things that you can't really use. So I'm going to put together, a bag. You know, so you're trying to put things in a bag and then trade them, and you can't really use them. Okay, so rogues use items, and they go through elements to buy those items. You go through equipment, and then you can throw things. All right, they're really the only class that throws their items. Now, Sage, Adventure, you're mostly about your pocketbook. It's mostly all about that pocketbook. But oh yeah, Shield. A shield might be good one for these guys. The warriors. Okay. I was trying to include defensive things as well as offensive. But Sage, mostly concerned with this, and then mostly just concerned with their own skills and abilities. And then finally we have clerics, and clerics, they want accessories like earrings, and so I'm going to put two little earrings on each one, and they want their robes. And also, they probably want a halo. You know, like a halo. And, wings. This one probably gets horns. Okay. All right. Little artifacts that they carry. Oops, snap that. I'm going to give them a necklace with a little artifact. The necklace with a little artifact. Okay. So that's what these different guys are worried with. You know, items, weapons. I guess accessories and clothes, really. And then they have their wands instead of, yeah, they kind of a mixed bag with the wizards. And then Sage carries a lot of, they just carry a bunch of items, a bunch of stuff in their bags. And the clerics, lots of external stuff, you know, lots of showy stuff. Now these guys are the ones that heal, and these are your support. These are also pretty good independent guys. Clearly you want to get a team of all of them together, or if just you personally manage to do across the board one of each, then you're a leader class. Now, if you manage to go across just one type of element and stick to that, then you're an elemental. And if you're a air elemental, then you're pretty good at messing up, I guess, Bolt, but also you can be injured by Bolt. Would be the normal way, except there's a couple weird goofs. So, fire and ice, perfect. Light and dark, perfect. Water and bolt are the two that mess with each other, I believe. And water, nope. Earth, metal and bolt don't hurt each other at all. No, metal and bolt do hurt each other. That's the connection there. And then I guess air and earth can't mess with each other whatsoever, which is a weird combo. Okay, that's what I had to point out. All right. I think I finished everything I needed to say.